Hi Leo, how are you? How's things? Welcome to Eriu Tarot Readings. I'm Eriu and you are very welcome to your bi-weekly reading of September the 1st to September the 17th, 2017. As I always say, if this doesn't fully resonate, realistically, it more than likely won't, because it's a general reading for many Leos with many different signs and other planets in their chart. So if it doesn't fully resonate, that's totally fine. Do check out your other moon and rising sign videos. And if you're not sure what your moon and rising sign is, well then check out the link below that I have just underneath this video, and you can click on that and you can calculate which, or your rising and both your moon, actually, the two of them. So yes. Anyway, Leo, how are you? Do you know how much I've missed you? I've missed you so much. Do you know that? I hope you had a wonderful birthday, a wonderful August. I'm sorry I missed it. Well, actually, in many ways I didn't, because majority of my family are Leos. And they're Leo women, so they're not going to let me forget their birthdays. So, and I don't. I'm fully trained. I know well. I know better than that. So I hope you had a beautiful birthday. I hope you really enjoyed the sunshine and getting back out in the heat, which is what you Leos need. Your fire signs. You need some light, some beautiful sunshine, sunsets, sunrises. That's what you need. That kind of feeds the soul a little bit more for you guys. I think more than other signs. And yeah, this is what we're going to do today for your bi-weekly. Right, I say bi-weekly, realistically we're looking at 17 days. So I'm going to cut it into two. So the first week we'll say is the 1st to the 9th, and the second week is the 10th to the 17th, alright? It's kind of split that in the middle. I'm going to do the same style that I did before, which you guys liked, which was the 6 cards for your 2 weeks, your general reading, and then thread in 3 cards for your love life throughout those 2 weeks, yeah? So ease myself back into it. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you're here. And now I'm going to stop talking and just shuffle the damn cards and do the reading for you, okay? To my new subscribers, you're very welcome. Welcome to this tribe. This is your Tuatha, and you're welcome here. To my old subscribers, I'm very, very happy to have you back. As I always say, get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, something stronger, your dinner, whatever, and then just kind of sit back and relax, and let's see together what the next, well, the first 2 weeks of September are going to do for you. Yeah, I was shuffling a lot before I started to record this video, and 3 cards popped out for me. One was 7 of Swords, which is deceit. I'm not happy about that. The second one was Strength, which was you. Wonderful. And the third one was Queen of Swords. So I hope some of you aren't having issues with a particular Libra woman or air sign woman. But for me, Queen of Swords, she's always Libra. It's always Libra. Alright, and if I need to clarify, I will. Let's go. Oh, we're very busy lately, aren't we? Majority of Pentacles, you guys are working hard, yeah? Or also, I think it's a case that you're kind of speech. You're reaping the rewards of things, what you've sown in the past. Certainly kind of starting to enjoy a bit more. Right, as I said before, top line is going to be the 1st to the 9th. Bottom line is going to be the 10th to the 17th. Start, middle and end of each week. Let's look at your first week. Right, you've got 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles. So interesting enough, 4 plus 3 equals 7. We can kind of see it might look a bit backwards, but I want to see what the case is for you. So you're starting off with the 7 of Pentacles. So Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus and Capricorn energy. We got the earth, my darlings. We got the earth, we got the roots. And I actually quite like Pentacles because of that. I love that earthly feeling. And Pentacles can represent money. It can represent wealth in whatever way you deem. So, oh, my mind just decided to go blank. Thanks. I say this all the time. For some reason now my mind just went shut down. Yes, wealth as in financial wealth. Wealth as in other things that you may deem to be wealthy but aren't so tangible. As I would say, your health is your wealth. It can also mean for me aspects of yourself too. So it could be a case that for some of you, you've actually been really working hard on yourself the last while, and maybe something to do with your birthday kind of maybe sparked a few ideas that maybe you should get back in touch with yourself a little bit more, or just say, hey, what's up, Leo? How are you getting on? Right? Fair enough. For others of you, you've actually accumulated a good few things. It could be money or it's tangible goods. What's going on? Hold on. Right. Leos, you've been working hard, no doubt. Well, you're always working hard, but you have been working hard, especially earlier in this year, the last 4 to 6 months. You've been working your asses off. However, I know you're happy with what you have. And there was a few readings previously over the last few months where you really appreciated everything. You were just like, thank God for this. Thank God I have this. This is, bless the universe, or whatever you believe in. You're like, I'm so happy to have this and I appreciate everything that I have. But there's something going on now that, not that the appreciation has faded, but I feel like what you're surrounding yourself with now has just really starting to show the realistic material, like textures and fabrics that you're not that interested in. Let's rewind what I'm trying to say here. So you have items around you that you're thankful for, that you're happy about, but you're starting to see them as just items now. Kind of that wow factor is gone, or the novelty factor is gone off these things, and you're like, they're just things. Could be a knock-on effect from your appreciation. You're just like, oh, thank God I have all this. This is wonderful. And now you're going, well, you know, it is just stuff. So I feel like you need to, or what you're doing is looking at things and thinking, I need to get rid of some things. Like I need to fully feng shui a few like chests of drawers even. You've got things in your chest of drawers. You're like, why am I still holding on to this? This is 5 years old and I've never used it. And you've got bookshelves where you're looking at items going, do we really need that anymore? Why do I even have that? Or you're picking up things, you're going, what was this even from? I don't actually remember what. You know, it's like, I used to do this all the time. When I go to the beach and I'd just collect seashells and I'd bring them back and I'd store them. And then like months go by and I come back to them and go, why did I keep these seashells? That's what it feels like. It's like, what's the point of this? This doesn't hold much for me anymore. So that's what it feels like for you guys. Now, it's not to, as I said, it's not to say that you're not very grateful for your items. You're not. But I feel like there's something more that you're looking for. And I think this is why it looks like you're going slightly backwards. Even though you're not, you're going down a different route, I see, Leo. And I see that in the middle of the second or the first week, which is the Three of Pentacles. Sorry, this is very strong. Hold on. There's something else that you need for satisfaction. I know I just got Rolling Stones in my head. I can't get, no. Yeah, you're like, I need something more. When I said to you about going outside in August and looking at the sunrises and sunsets and that they feed the soul, I think you're looking for something a little bit more to feed the soul. Now, by no means do I think you're materialistic. You like nice things around you. Who doesn't like nice things around you? Of course, right? I'm the same. I want nice things too. Everyone wants nice things. But this is, you're pulling away from, I guess, something that's stereotypically attached to Leo and their characteristics or their personalities, and you're saying, nah, I want more. My heart kind of yearns for more. And I think that's what's going on then in the second card for you, which is Three of Pentacles. So as I said, yes, it looks like a reverse, but there's a reason for that, and that's because you're taking a step back in how your life is and you're going, what's next for me, what's out there. So Three of Pentacles is the same pentacle energy all across the board the first week, and we have the Three. So the Three is essentially somebody deciding to carve their own path out, to create their own journey themselves and to build it up. It's not necessarily you're starting from the bottom. I think whatever you've accumulated here, even if this is financially, is aiding you in this new prospect. So this could potentially be a new business venture. It could be a new road down your career, or you could be completely swapping careers and you're just like, right, this was great. I did well. Happy days, good memories. I want to try this. And I think it's something that's slightly more, it's not completely different for you, but it's kind of, if someone had said that to you like this time last year, you'd say absolutely not. But now you're kind of going, well, I am considering doing this. So it could be a new business venture. You could be opening up a new business, or you could be going down a different route entirely career-wise, or even study-wise as well. Because remember, Pentacles, they do rule that. They rule study as well. And yeah, this is great. I love this because I can hear the dialogue every time I watch this. So here you are essentially, right? This is you, and here you are carving away at your life. Okay, it's about building stuff. It's about stacking things on top of each other in order to make it grow. But it's from, as I said, it's not it's a 3, so it's not at the bottom, but you know, you're working from the ground up and you're creating a foundation, and people are looking at you in a certain way. They're looking at this method that you're using. Now, the interesting thing about this is these 2 people here, right? So you're in the middle of carving your path. You're like, grand, happy days. You're doing really well. You're creating this. This is in your vision. And it's essentially about creating a life for you that you visualize. But you're being practical about it, you know, you're grafting for it, and that's what makes it work. Now, the 2 people here may be in your family, they may be your friends, or they may be your co-workers or people that you study with as well. Or, you know, people you study with become your friends. And they're essentially saying, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And this kind of stops you a little bit in your tracks. You're like, sorry, what? I was too busy here, had the earphones in, was listening to Motley Crue or whatever you listen to. I've just picked that at random. Otis Redding, whatever. You know, and you're like, well, sorry, I was too busy carving. What did you say? It's like, oh, yeah, I just wondering why you're bothering. You're going to get people that will look at what you're doing and not agree with it. And yes, we get that all the time in life, but it's when it's something that we feel kind of passionate about. We can see it in our mind's eye, and it's materializing. It's like, you know, you kind of got to grit your teeth a little bit with these people. My advice to you here, Leo, is that if anyone kind of comes across that energy to you, you don't need to explain yourself. All you need to say is, oh, well, no, I'm just actually working on something, a personal project at the moment. Done. Cut it short. And then revert back to them and say, so how are you getting on? Keep it short and sweet. Let them look. Don't show all your cards, obviously. Well, I know you're not going to here anyway. But don't take on their energy of questioning to heart too much, because I know you've got a big heart and you don't like when people criticize in a way that's like less than constructive, which is fair enough. So keep building and enjoy kind of this, because I think this is what we lose, is the enjoyment of the process is something, because we want to get to the end game. But I know that you get that Pentacles mean that there has to be a good foundation there first, and you just got to graft, and there's no excuses. That's the only way you're going to obtain what you want. So I have a feeling, though, some of the people that come to you questioning you in the way that they do, there will more than likely be very little malice to what they're doing, but you'll feel their delivery is a little bit less than desirable, and you don't want that, so goodbye. Nice enough. But there's something about this that has a little bit more of effect on you here. When I talked about keeping your cards close to your chest, or literally your pentacles, because you have the 4 of Pentacles here. Now, this is about, for me, extreme privacy. Holding your cards to your chest, not letting anyone in, not letting anyone out, not saying nothing. Keep quiet, say nothing. That's what we have, as we say it over in Ireland. Say nothing, say nothing. And keeping your counsel in a major way. Now, there's a little bit of narcissism attached to this card as well. I personally don't feel it for you, though. If some of you are prone to a bit of narcissism, ease up on it here a bit, okay? For some, not all, obviously, I'm just saying that. But for most of you, I don't feel like that's the case at all. I just feel like this is going to have a little bit of effect on you, and you're deciding to... Actually, you've had this a few times, Leo, right? You've had this in a few different readings. You've had the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe that's a big learning curve for you this year, is that you're picking and choosing who you say what to. And I totally respect that as well. Because you think everyone comes along with good intentions like you do, or that whatever you say isn't kind of going to go any further. But some people just collect data on other people, and they use it against them. And it's a waste of time, it's a waste of life. But hey, that's what they do. But I think that's taught you to do this a little bit more. And why not, though? Yeah, just don't, try not to, not don't, because I can't tell you what to do. Try not to hold on so tight to yourself, because what you need in this creative environment that you're going into, and to properly construct your vision, is that you'll need a little bit of freedom within yourself. You need a bit of room to breathe, okay? So that energy can flow up and down you. Align the chakras, make sure everything is straight and in order, and that everything flows for you, so that you can be private, but you can also feel free in yourself, okay? Now, your second week, 3 of Swords, King of Pentacles, and 7 of Cups, right? And I know you've had this before. Unfortunately, I've had to explain this one to you, and I hate explaining this one. It's not nice. It's not terrible either, though. That's the thing. So at the start of the second week, the 10th to the 17th, you have the 3 of Swords. So sword energy, you are aware probably, and if not, I'll tell you now, it's Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. What you've got is truth, communication, logic and thought. Okay, so if you imagine communication on any platform whatsoever, I'm talking about writing a note and tying it to a pigeon's leg and sending it off to your beloved, to social media platforms, okay? Communication of any kind whatsoever. Now, there may have been things in the past that have created this sword in your heart feeling. Now, what I want to state, it's very important to say this, and I say this every time, is that the heart is not broken. It's just punctured, all right? It's not cracked. Oddly enough, even though the swords are in it, it's almost preventing the heart from splitting a little bit more. But what's important is that the heartache can be healed, yeah? But there's a way of doing that for you, and that's about pulling out each of these swords one by one. However slowly you need to do it, but it's important that you do it. Like, literally, it's raining in your heart, you know? And that's sad, and who wants that? When you give energy to certain negative energies, it grows and it stays. It doesn't become permanent, because energies aren't permanent. They flow back and forth between each other all the time. So with that in mind, knowing that you can be in a better place than maybe where you are feeling or what you are feeling now, then think about that. Think about your end game. This is what you're doing here in the first week. Take that rule of life or rule of thumb and apply it to this heartache, and just slowly take these out. These are words. People may have said things in the past that really hurt you. I don't believe in you. You're not going to make it. Anything. You know, I could say a million horrible things, but sure, why would I even bother doing that? You know what I'm saying. So it's important for you to slowly take out these swords. In other ways, when you give more energy to this card, these are memories of that particular thing that has happened that you can see in your mind's eye constantly. It's like when you keep playing a film over and over again in your head of the same bad thing, and afterwards you realize, well, I could have said that, and if I would have said that this time. If they said that to me if they say anything to me next time, this is what I'm going to say to them next time. You know, it's kind of like that. But I want to know why you're feeling this, because maybe it's a case for some of you that, even though this is a general reading and it covers everything other than love, it could be a case that the reason as well why you're kind of throwing yourself into some things is because of this. What I want to say is, for some of you, if you have experienced a heartache, the reason why you're looking around now, and now I see it as well, there's another story here, is that why these goods seem just like bits of textures and plastics and, you know, objects. They're just objects to you, is maybe because some of you are actually going through a divorce or a split, and splitting those things up, give one to the other and this to them, blah blah blah. This is why you're seeing it like this, but this is also why you're a little bit sore in the heart and you're starting over, okay? For very few of you, that's like very, very small few of you. But let's just have a real good look at you here. Let's ignore that sound. It's the laptop in the corner. Okay. Oh, well, she's after popping up, hasn't she? Hold on. The old Queen of Swords. Alright. Leo, we've talked about this Page of Cups. You've had a watery lady in the past that really hurt you. Do you remember? It may have been early July or late May or June, sorry, Jesus, June. We may have done a reading for you that I did this particular sort of format, but it was completely love, and like we got into it about love, and I think this page was in there. Leo, what are you doing with this page? Okay. Right, so for some of you, you may have been seeing someone recently. I don't feel like it's very, like 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, 2 to 6 months, quite possibly. And it's, honestly, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really feel like it's completely exclusive. I feel like you were just on the surface of love. So when I kind of feel that, it's like dating, you know? Oh, we text every few days and we meet up every weekend or something, or every second weekend. Yeah, and so you're having chats with your friends. You're like, are you interested in them? They're all right, like, you know. But so for some of you, it could have been this Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Oh God, sorry, there's so much now. I need to split these up. And you left, okay, so we're going to go past. We're going to rewind, right? So it could have been Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces for some of you, or Leo, Virgo, or Capricorn. Because of this, because of them and I remember their emotional manipulation, you were victorious in leaving them and walking away from them. And I think as well it was because you had a lovely strong influence of this Queen of Swords, who is a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But for me, straight up, it's always a Libra. As well, because I think you saw the difference in what it was to have someone of a certain, on a certain level to you. I would nearly said caliber, but I don't kind of want to make this a social classing by any means. I think it's just a case that you're like, you are more on my level. Complete immaturity here, not so much here. This person, this woman, this man. Remember, not gender specific here. We both embody feminine and masculine energies, and they flow through each and every one of us. So this particular person definitely, at least verbally anyway, has their shit together, and I think that's what you quite like about them. And that they kind of helped you move away from this. Another story is that you yourself were like this Page of Cups, and you actually did hold a little flame for a particular Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius person. You were willing to kind of show yourself to them, but you felt like, oh, I keep saying feel. You feel like the door is closed a little bit on that. They don't see you. Oh, sorry. Every time I do videos and I say something, it triggers songs in my head. And I don't know, for some of you that may or may not know this band, there's a band called A Perfect Circle, and there's a song called The Noose. And the last few lines of that song is what I keep hearing. So I'd advise you, it's a great band, just some of you to Google that and check them out. But that's what I keep hearing. It's like, you don't see me. Pretty certain that's The Noose. And that's what I keep hearing. It's like, but you felt like the door was shut, or you feel like the door was shut, because you want to kind of give this to them, but you feel like, oh, I'm not quite sure if I should or not. I think the love life is struggling a little bit, maybe, for some of you. And it's weird because this person is having some sort of little effect on you, and they're not fully aware that they're even doing this. Remember as well, it doesn't even have to be an air sign. Yes, she's air sign here, but this person could have air sign like qualities. Really chatty, they're fun, they're bubbly, kind of a little bit cutthroat, you know, the odd time. The tongue is like the sword though, right? So, but you, they very much kind of say it like it is as well, but in a nice way. But you see them as kind of being maybe a little bit lonely, a little bit like the lone wolf. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm a bit sick at the moment, so bear with me. But yeah, and you're kind of moving towards them, and they're like, over here, look. The questioning of whether or not you should give your cup to them, your emotional well, you know, this little gift of love, this token of affection. And then it's like you muster up the courage to be like, yes, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to say how I feel. Everyone with me? Yeah. All my friends said do it? Yeah. Talked to my mom and dad about it? They even said yeah, go for it, great. And then you go and it's like, oh, and then it's like, and you stop and they're off doing something else completely different. There's a few different stories that I feel for this, and I won't go into all of them because we're going to go into your love anyway. But what I'd say to you is like, I don't feel like this Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius put the swords in there, I'll be honest. I think you feel like they did because your love isn't being reciprocated. But in Leo, in fairness, do they know that you like them? Do they actually know, though? I don't think they know. They don't know. Oh, Leo. for all your, bravery and heart of a lion, sometimes you just go really shy, don't you? Oh, my poor lions. Right, well look, we'll figure this out in the love reading, right? Let us not despair. Now, if we carry on, we've got this card in the middle of the week. This is the King of Pentacles. So, you actually don't despair too much. There's a little bit of a blip, a little bit of a blip. I think because things are going well for you here, or you're deciding then to maybe try and contact that other person, or it's, excuse me, it's a case that you're kind of holding your cards very close to your chest and you're thinking, well, the only person that could really actually understand is this air sign. Maybe I want to say something and then you don't, and then it's like, oh God. But you're all right because you pick yourself back up. You go, look, Leo, get back in the game. And you do, because you become this King of Pentacle energies. So it's great that, apart from the blip, you're doing all right. You get back in and you're deciding that, hey, look, do you know what? I've actually come very far in what I've been doing. I'm actually doing really well. And you know what, I'm achieving, and I've achieved. And I think it's important as well that, yeah, I said that we're kind of regressing a number here. 7, 3, oh, whatever, the other way around. But it is a regression, right? And sometimes that's good, because what you've actually done is reduced your pentacles down. You've honed in on what you really want. You've gotten rid of the things that you don't want. And you've focused and you've become determined and you've kept slight tunnel vision about your dream, which is good, because it kept you moving forward. And then you acquire this really important pentacle. It's like, yeah, you can have many pentacles, but what does that mean? As long as you've got one that has pure wealth to it, and it's important to you. So this is not just a case of you obtaining this kind of new status in the circles that you are within. It's more of a case that you're saying, I have achieved something about myself. It's like I scraped everything away and it came back to me. And I worked on things that I love and that I believe in, even though at times I felt like people weren't on my side. And I lost myself a little bit. But now I've acquired this, and this is the ultimate token. It is about you. It's not even about anyone else. So that's gorgeous. And look, you've even got, I always kind of laugh at the King of Pentacles, because he is he's quite showy, like a little bit flamboyant. And people always say, oh, that's Leo, that's fire signs. But just look how shiny and sparkly new penny he is. Like, he wants to show everyone, look at the wealth that I have. But you're like, yeah, I've got wealth, but it's about me. I've got something really important here that I can give to people. Now, at the end of the 2 weeks, you have the 7 of Cups, which is kind of emotional confusion. It's a fog. It's a fog. It's a mist over the next step, I guess you can say. And you're not quite sure what way to go. You can't really see. And you can see little bits. You know things are there. And offers are coming in for you. And I'm not surprised, because you've got this. You're pretty solid in yourself. And, you can talk the talk, but you can walk the walk as well. So respect to that. And now it's kind of like, oh, okay, so people are interested in what I do. People gravitate towards me. All right, this is nice. Okay, this feels good. Now what? Where do I go? So let's lift the veil of confusion here about your options. There are a good few things that you could become very emotionally satisfied by doing, and being emotionally satisfied by being involved in. But realistically, you're like, where do I go? So I'm not going to leave you on this card for the end of the 2 weeks, because that's not fair. Let's just say we'll look for 2 cards, shall we? 2 cards for Leo. Just to show them. How do we get rid of the confusion for them? And what way to go? 2, please. Ah, woo, okay, cool. Right, so Leo. Okay. The only way, really, well, not the only way, I'm sure there are many other ways for all of you, because you're all individuals. But the best way for you to actually approach this is to say, what gives me the most emotional satisfaction out of everything? What makes me feel good every day? That when you put your head down on the pillow to sleep at night, you go, that was a fucking awesome day. And, you know what? I can't wait till tomorrow. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, I love what I do. That's what you need more than anything. But you have this in you, and you've got as well the King of Cups energies. You've got a lot of cups, a lot of feelings going on. All the feels, Leo, all the feels. And you're like, Which one do I go for? Well, it's the one that has to say almost the most people, or that people will be around you and that emotionally support your decisions. That group of people, whatever they're attached to, that's the route you want to go down. Also for you, it's important for you to, when I said that you become more determined and focused with the King of Pentacles, I'm very, very practical and methodical in the way you've approached things. Let's flip it and go on the opposite side. See how I feel about things. What do I really feel? How do I feel? You do have a very strong emotional reservoir within you that you can rely upon. And it's not going to be cerebral. This isn't a sword thing. This is honestly what makes you feel good at the end of the day, no matter all the hard work that you may have to do. But as I said, it's more importantly, it's the people around you. Get the good network around you. You know who these people are already. Like, I don't even need to tell you this. It is that strong emotional support that people give you and the almost unconditional love towards you. Now, it's not to say they don't challenge you the odd time. Yes, they do. And that is involved in love. We got to challenge each other so we can grow. But we give love to those people as we challenge them. That is a version of love. So it's not the ones that say yes, of course, of yes, you're so right, you're wonderful. It's the ones that go, well, hey, what about this? Why don't we try this? And they emotionally support you on that sort of way. But more so have faith in your ability to select emotionally. Not just practically, not just mentally. This is important. This is an important step for you now before you go into the next 2 weeks. Call upon this King of Cups energy and allow, I guess, your emotions to kind of sweep you off your feet in this decision. Is that something you do? No. Is it always the best to do that in decisions, to be emotionally swept up? Not so much, but it's being advised here for you in order to tackle the Seven of Cups and lift that fog. Okay? Now, oh, how did I know I'd go over 30 minutes in this reading? Honestly, when I'm doing this, it just feels like 10 minutes. Right, let's check out your love life. But hey, isn't the next 2 weeks really nice? Really freaking nice. Lovely jubbly. So now, Leo, we need to find out what's going on with love, don't we? I just heard in my head, oh, don't talk to me about it. Come on, Leo, everything else is going well. Let's figure it out for you. Ooh. Right. So this kind of new, well, I don't say new, relatively new discovery of yourself. I mean, it's molding and changing, isn't it? Has been for the last few months. You kind of think you have yourself pegged and then you realize something else new about yourself and you're like, wow, I am changing. True that, Holmes. Right, you've got the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. So nice to see that we're back in your suit now. That's lovely jubbly. And we have that throughout most of the 2 weeks, and then at the end of it we've got your Pentacle energy, so you get practical again. Right? Practical, let's stay practical. Right, so Four of Wands for me is one of my happy home cards. It's about having beautiful emotional support and love that you can only get by being at home. You know, you're away for a while, you've enjoyed yourself, but you're like, you know, you got to get on that plane and you're like, I actually can't wait to get home. I'm coming home. That's nice. And also, because this is a love reading now, or these cards are related to love, this is about you being somewhere or with someone that makes you feel like you've come home. I guess that's the true definition of love, really, isn't it? Feeling like you've come home. Many people say that. I think that's gorgeous. Now, for singles. Okay, what I want to say is try not to wait around too much on that Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, yeah? Because I feel like that's what's going on. Because they're breaking your heart a little bit by not reciprocating the attention and love that you really want, or the admiration that you're really looking for. And I'll be honest, whoever this is, okay, so very, very few words have been spoken about this particular, to this particular love interest, yes? Very few words. And you kind of feel like they have you dangling. But I get, you're kind of, I can see, Leo, you're kind of going through this fantasy about the whole thing, though, and how it could be. And I'm purely going off intuition as well now here. What I got to say to you is, this is what you think and see in your head. This is what you're actually feeling. Yes? And this is this waiting around thing. Now, this card doesn't necessarily mean waiting around, but I feel it. And the wondering, and the like trying to get a connection, feeling something for them, and yet trying to solidify, geez, just even a date with them or something, and you're like, it's not quite coming together. My advice would be to explore other options. Don't just wait around for this person, even if they are possibly a twin flame or the love of your life. If there is this kind of weird limbo tension between the two of you, it could be because they are trying to sort out stuff or you need to sort out stuff, right? So just please don't waste too much time in this kind of negative loopy energy of how you see it and how it really feels, because that's not going to be good for you. And I feel like some of you actually feel a bit sick with this as well. Could be sick with worry, or even just a little bit sick with tension. So be careful here with this particular earth sign. Could be earth, could be fire, could be any element, to be quite fair. But I keep hearing like Virgo and Capricorn. I kind of feel like it's done, even though it never really took off the ground. Do you just kind of feel that yourself? You're like, do you know what? It shouldn't be this hard. I'm trying to knock on this bloody door and it's not opening. Now, for couples though, there may be a bit of a rift within the home life. It could be due to financial things. It could be that the other partner is gaining a little bit more money, or you're earning a little bit more money. And this is actually, for some reason, pulling out your significant other's nose out of joint, right? It's not your fault. I need to tell you that it's not your fault. It's just that their perception on things is just off a little bit. I think it's more so how they're feeling about themselves. It's not actually really about you at all. It's just that they're feeling a bit down. I feel for some of you, maybe your significant others are suffering from depression as well, or maybe your significant other's partner, mother or father may have passed away of recent months, and that the grief process is still going on, and that's contributing. It's not you. It's not. You're doing well though by trying to keep the home together, I get it, but it's more if a case of this person's energy is impacting the entire home. So maybe talk to them. It's important to try and see if you can talk to them. Now, the middle card for these 2 weeks is the 5 of Wands. So, still continue on with Wands. But Wands is about, this one in particular is about being belligerent and being warlike and fighting and having arguments and, you know, just kind of at each other, you know, pecking at each other. It's a bit sucky in that sort of instance. So for singles, I think this is more within you maybe than it is anyone else. For some of you, it may actually be this continuation of whatever this earth sign is actually creating this more inside you, and you're kind of feeling like, who is this? They don't understand what you're trying to do. They don't. Like, they are accomplished in their own ways, but they just don't get that you're trying to create something that's slightly different and maybe not the norm. And so there may be, if this person continues in your life and you decide, oh, I want to keep them there, all good. It's not to say that they don't support you doing something new, but I would say that it's more of a case that they just don't see it, and because they don't see it, they can't give you 100% support. Not that like you need, like, okay, you know, you're up here and you're like, I'm doing something different and I really want to try this and see how this could work. And they're like, what about this, this and this? Realistically, that's all going to break down. You're not going to have enough money, so why are you bothering? And that could be sort of the argument here as well. But for some of you, it could be a case that internally you're kind of having this battle within yourself of whether or not you want to really pursue this person or whether or not you want to grow on your own. That's completely up to you though. I see growth by yourself though, just because I see that at the end here. But it's up to you what you really want to do. It's not a nice card to have at the heart of everything. But now that we know what's really going on, now we can tackle what's going on, right? For couples, it may be a case that you're actually having a bit more arguments and they're escalating with your partner. You're trying to kind of keep things afloat. You're trying to create the home. You're trying to keep the home growing in different ways. And your partner maybe is just very kind of slightly dominant in what they do and what they say. And it's creating rifts, you know. You're trying to build and you feel like they're tearing down. And that's like, come on now, let's work together and let's both build. So there may be some heated arguments about that. Some of you actually may be getting your house redone and there's construction in the house, and the other half is the one that runs the money and they're saying yes or no to things that need to get done, and you're like, but we're trying to create a home together, like this is important, this isn't just something I'm going to change my mind about in 6 months time, it's for years. And they're saying, well no, actually we can't afford it, this is what we need to do and this is all we're getting, and it's creating rifts. All right, be careful about that, just be very careful. Now the last card is the Page of Pentacles. So for singles, I think you decide, you're just like, do you know what, I'm going to do me, thanks very much, going to take care of myself here. And you kind of scale everything back again and you create this Page of Pentacles. So pages are students of the deck, they're the rookies of the deck. They know that they have something very important to give and that the power of their suit is very important, but at the same time they're like, I'm not quite fully sure how to do this. How do I work this? How am I going to really work it like the King and the Queen of Pentacles can? So you've taken this and you're going, do you know what? I'm going to take the token. I'm going to take my little love token here. You can bugger off. I'm not that interested. I'm going to keep myself to myself and I'm going to continue on. Now, you might feel like your emotions will kind of conflict with your decision, and that's understandable because you're making a practical decision that involves in the emotional department, so that's okay, like that's going to come up for you. But I think it's important for you, Leo, to focus on this is important for you, and to keep your cards to your chest during this time and just to take care of yourself. I know for singles it's not great because no one really knew was coming in, this person's already here, but that's not to say in the next few weeks something better can't come along. And also because you end up on this, so this is important. Learn that token of love that to love yourself, therefore you can give pieces of yourself of love to others, and that's what's important. Then for couples, it is about scaling it back in mega ways. I think that's good. Getting back to basics of the relationship. Pushing all this back. Going, no wait, let's push. Get back to things. Just get back to you and me. Look, I love you. This is my pentacle. I want to show you this. I don't want to have these arguments anymore. I know you're going through something, but let me in. Now, it is a case that the other person may not fully let you in, or you will come up against opposition emotionally and you'll be confused as to whether or not they actually still care about you. They do, but where they are right now, they can't properly verbalize things. So maybe it's important then, instead of saying it, maybe you practically show your love for them and let them kind of warm them up in that sense so that they can open up to you a little bit more. I know, guys, I know love-wise it ain't great, but as I said, we know the red flags now and we know how we can deal with them, right? Which is more important, because then we've got tools to further ourselves in love. Alright guys, this has been your bi-weekly reading for September the 1st to September the 17th, 2017. Thank you for being here with me. If you dig what I do, please like and leave a comment and share. That would be great. Yeah, I do general and love readings as well. If you'd like a personalised reading, let me know. If you'd like to look at the twin flame format that I've created that I use for my clients a lot of the time, you can look at the twin flame reading for all earth signs, just to get a feel as to what else I do. If you would like any of that, yes, my email address is below. Email me directly and I'll send you on a price list and a services as well. Until then, my beautiful Leos, great to be back. Great to be here with you. You're always welcome to this Tuatha. Always welcome to our lovely tribe, aren't you? Always remember that. Have a beautiful 2 weeks. Stay strong, stay focused, and I will see you in the following 2 weeks. Bye bye, my lovelies.